It's interesting to note that most cyber attacks are not random. Attackers don't spin a wheel and pick their next victim. They're running businesses, illegal ones, but businesses nonetheless, and they make calculated decisions about who to target and why. In this lesson, we're going to flip our perspective. Instead of thinking about security from the inside out, we'll look at your organization through an attacker's eyes. Once you understand what they actually want, you can make much smarter decisions about where to focus your defenses. Back in the 1930s, a reporter allegedly asked the infamous bank robber Willie Sutton why he robbed banks. He said because that's where the money is. Sutton later said he never actually said that, but the quote stuck because it captures something essential about criminal motivation. They go where the value is. Understanding what they consider valuable is the first step to protecting it. Some might say attackers have 5 primary objectives. First, direct financial gain, perhaps through ransomware that locks your systems until you pay, or through fraud schemes that redirect payments to attacker-controlled accounts. Second, customer data. Your customer database has real monetary value on criminal marketplaces. Names, emails, and passwords might fetch a few dollars per record. Add payment card data and that jumps significantly. Include social security numbers or health information, and you're looking at premium prices. Third is intellectual property. Trade secrets, product designs, strategic plans. These are gold for competitors or nation-state actors who want to leapfrog years of R&D investment. Fourth, access credentials. Sometimes you're not the final target. You're a stepping stone. Attackers may want credentials that open doors to your larger partners, customers, or suppliers. And fifth, computing resources. Your servers and bandwidth can be hijacked for crypto mining operations or incorporated into botnets used to attack others. There's also strategy involved. Attackers don't only look at what you have, they weigh what they can steal against the difficulty of breaching your defenses. They're doing a cost-benefit analysis, just like any business decision. This means two organizations with identical assets might face very different threat levels. If one has strong security controls and the other has weak ones, rational attackers will target the easier mark. They're looking for the best return on their criminal investment. If you think about it from their perspective, an attacker might ask, one, does this company have something valuable? Okay, how hard will it be to get in? And what's the likelihood of getting caught? And how quickly can I monetize what I steal? This is good news for you strategically. You don't have to be perfectly secure. You need to be secure enough that attackers decide you're not worth the effort compared to easier targets. It's the digital equivalent of the old joke about outrunning a bear. You don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the other hikers. In order to figure out what attackers would want from your specific organization, you have to think like they do. Start by identifying your crown jewels, the assets that would cause the most damage if compromised. For some companies, it's customer payment data. For others, it's proprietary algorithms or manufacturing processes. For many, it's simply the ability to operate. If ransomware locks your systems, can you still run your business? Also consider your industry context. Healthcare organizations face threats primarily interested in patient data. Financial services attract those seeking direct monetary theft. Technology companies are targets for intellectual property. Government contractors face nation-state actors seeking classified information. Your downloadable resources for this lesson will help you work through this analysis systematically. The Criminal Marketplace Value Guide shows you what different types of data actually sell for on underground markets. These do change, but it gives you a general idea, and it's eye-opening to see the specific dollar values attached to different assets. And the Attacker Target Assessment Worksheet walks you through evaluating your organization from an attacker's perspective. Once you understand what attackers want, you can prioritize your security investments more effectively. Not all assets deserve equal protection. The customer service portal probably doesn't need the same security controls as your financial systems or intellectual property repositories. By understanding relative value from an attacker's perspective, you can allocate resources where they'll have the greatest impact. This way, you're being genuinely strategic with security. Instead of trying to protect everything equally, which is expensive and sometimes impossible, you focus your strongest defenses around your highest value targets. Make the cost benefit calculation unfavorable for attackers. Your takeaway for this lesson: stop thinking about attackers as chaotic forces of nature and start thinking of them as rational economic actors. They have goals, they make calculations, and they choose targets based on value versus difficulty. You can use the downloadable resources to identify what makes your organization attractive to attackers and which assets would cause the greatest harm if compromised. That analysis will inform every security decision you make going forward. Up next, we'll examine how to translate this understanding into a concrete framework for measuring and communicating security risk in business terms.